Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys for Stocks. I'm Dylan.
And Anthony?
All right, and hear me out. I understand people hate when I talk about Tesla and shorting it. I think that there is a big problem that's about to come to fruition or come to light for Tesla. We're going to talk about it and why there's a potential trade that I may be doing. I need one more thing to happen before I do it. Full disclosure, it is the same type style of trade that I did with the NVIDIA one that everyone got very upset with, and it worked. But
Yeah, it's profitable trade. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. Whatever. This is the Tesla chart. Now, before we go further, I was also shorting Tesla at 175. I bought a put option. That's when I say short, by the way. That's what I mean. I buy put options. I canceled it at 185 because it broke my thesis. I learned my lesson from horrible trading, a FUBO, worth it, and very glad I listened to myself because
Yeah.
holy crap.
Cut
Um,
your losses fast and move on.
yeah, just because it's supposed to be like a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. I hit it. I'm out. So why is Tesla going so insane? Right, we're talking 160s to like 230, whatever it is. Right, they added
Yeah.
how much they added the market cap?
Hundreds of billions of dollars in
Cool,
valuation for the company overall. Yeah.
cool. So why is that happening? All right. The total deliveries for quarter two was 444,000 vehicles. This was more than 439 vehicles they were expecting. To be very clear, this is still a decrease of 4.8% from the same quarter a year ago. All right.
Hmm.
Their
Okay.
two big quarters, I don't know why, but for sales are quarter two and quarter four. Okay.
Interesting.
So weakness in quarter one and three is not as bad. So everyone's going crazy. They're like, all right, Tesla's back. Let's go for it. Yay. No. So here's a chart of just kind of all Tesla vehicles by quarter. So you can see quarter one, the blue, was a decent drop off. This is after multiple rate cuts. Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Now,
price cuts.
and yeah,
Not
sorry,
rate.
price cuts, not rate cuts. Looking at TLT
Yeah.
for too long. um, you can see quarter two, which it's not here yet. They released this before their earnings on July 23rd, which is going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks from now.
Full disclosure. It still went down. It's just not as down as they're thinking. Then here's a kind of a different representation of that chart. All right? Okay.
Yeah.
This is, I don't understand why people think this is good news. Um, I understand selling more cars means more money. However, after quarter one, they cut the shit again multiple times for prices in China, Germany, US. In China, which is like 20% of their sales, they're doing zero interest loans.
Nice.
So,
Subsidized that auto loan. Yeah, I like it.
yeah, the fact that did they sell slightly more cars than they were expecting, even though it's less than what it should be from quarter two, because it should still be growing? Yes, they're getting significantly less revenue. I
Hmm.
don't I don't know if that just like isn't being talked about or what. I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe people are a little optimistic that maybe there is a floor to the EV market because other brands like Ford have seen even more dramatic fall off in their EV sales, right? Tesla has had to cut prices, but they've eventually found a market that's still in existence, still willing to buy at their current prices. Yeah, sure, they've had a lot of margin contraction. We're going to see that in the quarterly report continued because I want to say they've had a couple of quarters of that in a row now, from my understanding. But
So, real quick, just so you know, GM had record EV sales. So this is the issue with Tesla. They're first to market, but now, granted, they're not selling near as many cars. Also,
yeah,
there's another thing with the energy and storage business that accounted for 500 million in revenue. I don't.
yeah, $800 billion company that
Yeah,
really moves the needle a lot. I
stop
mean, I,
talking about it. I don't
I
understand why it's not close. Maybe one day. Um,
maybe.
yeah. So now people were shorting, actually about apparently where I was shorting at about 175, 180 range. I just left very quickly. Um, let's see. Short sellers lost an estimated $3.5 billion. Not ideal. And
Yeah.
the short float, the short interest is only at 3.5%, which is not that high.
Yeah, and the flip side of this, I saw at least one Wall Street bet post where the guy talked about how he went from $7,000 position to $137,000 position in 5 days by buying Tesla calls during this time period. So he nailed it on the upswing.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. That's awesome. Here's kind of a zoomed out chart. So this is the same thing I did with NVIDIA. So the 9 EMA, it's the dotted pink line. It's essentially a moving average that's very reactionary to recent dates with volume. So when stocks get very extended from the 9 EMA, it catches up very quickly. But usually, even NVIDIA, if you look at the chart, it'll go back down, which is exactly what I did. For NVIDIA, it was actually a prettier trade because the last four resulted in either nothing or positive. So these four, if you look at about 11% or more off the 9 EMA, you would have this. Can you see my arrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have made a bunch here, would have broke even here, would have lost here. Okay, this one was about 10, so it doesn't quite count because I want a little bit more. Would have made an absolute killing. I don't know. Once it's super high at the 9 EMA, especially when the news is this weak, this is more people, I don't know, just going crazy, very, very excited, and have not maybe looked at the numbers. I don't really get it.
Short-term optimism. This is when you get the
Short-term
chick's number
optimism.
at the bar, and you find out, she's been in prison and maybe used to be a dude.
Jesus. Yes, that. This has nothing to do with what I just said. I just think that this is a little bit hilarious that
No.
Elon Musk said once Tesla fully solves autonomy and has Optimus in volume production, anyone still holding a short position will be obliterated. I don't know his timeline on this, but I know his robo-taxi is 2027. I live in Arizona. We already have robo-taxis. It's just not
Yeah.
Tesla. And we've had them for a while. It's called Waymo. They've been on the road for years. I don't.
Owned by Google.
Yes. Here's now. This does not matter for a swing trade. To be very clear, this is nitty gritty stuff. I just thought it was kind of interesting. Fundamentals have no bearing on swing trades. It's purely just chart, right? Because you can. You can remain fiscally. What is it?
Things can remain irrational far longer than you can remain solvent. Is that what you're trying to go for?
Yep. There we go. That
That's
one.
the one.
Right? So this stuff does not matter for swing trades. But these numbers suck. This is not good. Quarter one is not ideal. And I don't think people are putting into the fact that did they beat the revised estimate for car deliveries? Yes. Off of the back of massive sale cuts. In fact, the FSD, the fully self-driving, which is really misleading, they went from 12,000 down to 8,000. That's a big cut.
Yeah, like I was talking about before, look at the margins. Total gross margin went from 19% down to 17.4. That's a 2% gross margin decline during the reported 6 quarters here. And then even more so on the operating margin side, it's almost a 6% loss there, from 11.4 down to 5.5%.
And that's going to get worse with more rate cuts. I need to stop saying rate cuts.
Price cuts.
Price cuts. Sorry, I've been doing a lot of TLT stuff this weekend.
Yeah.
So this is a very risky trade. Oh, you know what? I want to show one more thing. I do have a line here. What I'm hoping to happen is that we have one more very, very bullish day that'll hit this line of resistance, and then I'm going to enter the trade. But once again, this is not a hold for a long time. If it goes against me, I'm immediately out. I'm not going to lose thousands of dollars, and you risk very, very little. I'm talking 0.1 to 0.2% of your portfolio. This is not a Wall Street bets going all in thing. We don't do that. So
what is the price point there of that line of resistance that you're hoping it hits?
I want to say it's 260.
260? Okay.
Ish.
And,
Yeah.
and your trade would be you would buy a put at that point? Is that your
Yeah,
strategy?
I'd buy to where the 9 EMA is. So let's say the 9 EMA is going to catch up on Monday, right? Because it's a new day, so it moves up quite a bit. So let's say the 9 EMA is just 200, whatever. So I would buy a put for 200. Once it hits 9 EMA, I'm out unless I bought multiple options, which I'm not going to do with Tesla, right? If it's like Nikola, sure, I'll buy 100 options. That's fine because it's almost guaranteed. But NVIDIA, crazy. Tesla, there's a huge fan base. I don't. It's not worth it. So
Yeah.
the risk to reward is lower, so I don't buy as much.
Fair enough. All right, man. I hope this trade executes for you and works out well,
Well,
like the Nvidia trade did.
yeah, I need one more bull day though. But all right, guys.
Love it.